Man, one of the number one things that I've recommended for years here
Damn, boy, he's thick!
is this sucker right here. Resistance bands, the cheapest, most cost-effective way to be able to apply, some solid resistance, whether it's just priming exercises, putting in strength. I mean, I can fold that down into the size of my fist, so I can take that with me anywhere I want.
Nice.
It's very, very versatile. I mean, it's essentially up to your creativity to what you can do with them. I mean, you can use these to make exercises harder, to make exercises easier. One of the best ways to, teach movements like the squat for someone that doesn't have the mobility is to have it up high, let them have the resistance, helping them get into position, things like that. So, you know what? I'll show a few now, and we'll go through that. Follow me over here. When it comes to resistance bands, there's many different levels. And one of the first comments I get when I say go and get a resistance band that's gonna, help you be able to work on your goals from anywhere, is which one is the right one for me. Now, as you can see, like this is the thinnest, therefore least resistance, and they get a little bit thicker as we go through the rounds here, all the way up to the extra heavy one, which in this brand is this color here. Now, depending on which brand you buy, where you get it from, things like that, even the same brands change the color every now and then. Like these yellow ones that we used to get used to be red, so they change it up every now and then. So the colors are not indicators, although they do generally change the colors within brands just to help you easily identify, but you can see it pretty easily by the thickness. Now, these are literally just layers of rubber to create a specific amount of resistance. Now, if I pull down on that, so I can get that right down straight there, and then going to the extra heavy, I can hardly move that as it is. So there are benefits to having multiple different sizes of bands, but for the sake of what's the best one for my clients, I would generally just say go and get yourself the lightest one you can, because all we need to do is manipulate gravity. The higher band you get, this is really good for, like assisted chin-ups, pull-ups, things like that, taking heavy weight off to help you assist in strength gains. You can't really, it does limit a lot of exercise progressions and things like that if you only have the heaviest of bands. Okay, so my recommendation would be the lightest one, but then in saying that, like the investment of all four is less than $100.
Shut up and take my money.
You can train your entire body with one of these, and that's what we're going to go into now. Well, let's kick it off. The reason this is the number one piece of equipment that I recommend is the adaptability. I mean, you can do the generic push, pull, squat, deadlift. Here's your push exercise, or one of. Pulls, we can do a row. There's a row. Squat, I can stand on the band, one end of the band like so, bring that up onto my shoulders. There's my back squat. Deadlift, I can grab both ends, stand on both ends. The wider my feet, or the less end I have from my foot, the harder the resistance, but there's my deadlift. So I can target all of those big major muscle groups that people generally work on for strength in the gym, but more importantly, the versatility. I mean, if we're working outside of a gym with just body weight exercises, the only force we're combating is gravity, and then manipulating yourself can be very limited. If you have yourself a resistance band, you can simply apply it anywhere other than vertically, and you've changed the stimulus and the force. For example, I am now being held to the floor by gravity, but also the further out that I pull this, the more resistance I have that's trying to rotate my body this way. So for me to engage muscles and prevent that from happening, that is training something. So things like a pile-off press, I mean, you could bring that down lower, and you could bias specific muscles doing split squats. If I had this leg in the band and I'm working through a split squat, it's going to be pulling that knee out, which then I have to engage my adductors to bring it in. If I put this leg in and I do a split squat, I'm now engaging my glutes to bring that out that way. So if my glutes were not actively pulling my leg out, then my leg would cave in or concave in, which is what a lot of people do. They have trouble through movement patterns keeping those glutes engaged. So we can use it to help prime the body and keep it going that way as well. You can see how you can do the simple movements. You can see how you can add different angles there. I did mention before that you can also use it to help you gain movements. If you've got something above, let's say that you're just trying to learn a good squat and you can't currently lower yourself down. You can use this to take weight off from gravity and lower yourself down this way. Now, I'm a 95 kilo person, but I don't feel like it when I'm holding this down here. So the more that stretches, the more weight it's taking away, which is going to help me get into those end positions and come out of them like if you were training underwater. So if you're struggling to do it unassisted, then you can add a resistance band to help you gain the mobility through the movement, as well as increasing the difficulty of the movement. And that's the adaptability factor. Then, like I've mentioned earlier, that could fit in your wallet. I mean, ladies, that'll fit in everyone's handbag. You can take that all over the world. And last point is the cost. You know, dumbbells are getting expensive, kettlebells are expensive. You need many of them to get a workout that you can get with just one piece of equipment with a resistance band, and that's why that is my go-to recommendation.